Conrad Hauser has made first contact with an alien being and lived to tell the tale. But no one, not even Colonel Hawk, believes the story of the jet fighter converting into a colossus alien robot that nearly killed the man known as Duke. Now, one of U.S. Army's most decorated soldiers is on the hunt for answers, drawn into a conflict that no amount of training could ever prepare him for, a war that only a real American hero has a chance of surviving. This is for the best, Duke. You can't be on the run. You want to get to the other side of this? You need to trust the system. The system didn't trust me. Why should I believe anything from you? Quote, Stalker and Duke. From the Energon Universe, Skybound, Entertainment, Image, Distribution, Duke, Volume 1, Issue 2, following the events of Transformers, Volume 4, Issue 2. Duke, an American hero, finds himself on the run after receiving information from Dr. Burkhart, who was killed for assisting him. Injured from gunshot wounds and having leaped out of a building, Duke is now wanted for murder, pursued by various factions. Perched atop of a trailer with a sun umbrella, a man observes the aftermath of 16 casualties on his phone and contemplates what Conrad, also known as Duke, has entangled himself in. Despite the grim scene, this individual feels a sense of relief, preferring Duke to be the one pursued rather than himself. Stretching warily, the man craves a cup of coffee to invigorate himself after witnessing the troubling situation. Wearing slippers, socks, atop of a trailer, he gazes over a junkyard named Manny's Mean Machines, scattered with tires and used cars. Affectionately blowing a kiss to his muscle car, we discover his identity as Lance J. Steinberg, holder of a bachelor's science degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but he is none other than Clutch. The coffee may be a day old, but as fate would have it, the wanted man Duke walks in, suggesting to Clutch, why don't you pour me one while you're at it? Clutch is surprised to see his friend, Conrad Hauser, aka Duke. Clutch, unable to recognize Duke due to the beard, questions what he's doing here. Duke explains that the military police are after him. However, Duke reminds Clutch that they go even further back. At this moment, a woman's voice calls out to Clutch, asking if he's okay. The groggy woman, having heard a scream, reassures that Clutch has nothing to worry about, mentioning that it's just an old buddy named Duke who stopped by. Clutch is revealed to be a childhood friend, and in their youth, Clutch used to build things while Duke was known for crashing them. Clutch attempts to introduce the woman to Duke, but he struggles to remember her name, leading to the frustration on the woman's part. Clutch receives a smack from the frustrated woman for not remembering her name, and as she storms off, Duke jokingly remarks, I still see you have a way with the ladies. The pain intensifies for Duke due to the multiple gunshot wounds, and he buckles in agony. Clutch recognizes the urgency as Duke explains the injuries caused by bullets and glass from his daring escape through a window. Clutch, not finding Duke's situation strange, likens him to a car in need of a tune-up. However, he expresses interest in a rundown of Duke's current predicament and what's happening. Duke informs Clutch about the giant robot incident, but Clutch, skeptical, doesn't believe the story. However, he acknowledges that Dr. Burkhart must have had her reason for trusting Duke with a key. Clutch explains to Duke that the key is more like a LoJack with stealth trackers, and its purpose is to track something highly illegal. They speculate on its origin and aim to uncover who is using this technology. As he activates the tracking device, the distinctive beeping sound fills the air, indicating the device is in operation. Clutch, realizing the significance of the tracking device, acknowledges Duke, saying, well, I'll be damned. This is where you need to go, good old boy. The tracking device location is identified somewhere in the United States. Destro becomes aware that something significant is unfolding as he too receives a beeping message. Duke is reluctant to involve anyone else, especially his brother. Despite the familiar connection, he chooses to proceed alone, not wanting to put his loved ones at risk. He feels bad enough getting Clutch involved in this situation. A boombox clunks on the top of a metal as Clutch says, why go back to Hawk? Duke responds, he didn't believe me before. I doubt he believes me now. As Clutch says his farewell to Duke, he expresses hope that his friend will discover the answers he seeks. Suddenly, the sound of bullets being loaded into a machine gun and the lively tunes of rock and roll fill the air. Rock and roll, armed with a machine gun, exclaims, let's make some noise, as the boombox blares out out classic rock and roll tunes. Bullets fly everywhere as Duke and Clutch scramble for cover. Unfortunately, the muscle car takes a barrage of bullets and erupts in flames, causing Clutch immense pain as he watches his beloved car go up in smoke. Meanwhile, Rock and Roll wears a triumphant smile amidst the chaos. Amidst the circling bullets, Duke and Clutch seek refuge in the garage. Duke proposes taking the wheel, but Clutch adamantly refuses. Outside, Rock and Roll taunts them, urging them to come out and play. The truck comes crashing out of the garage, evading the machine gun fire. However, Rock and Roll deploys 2 drones equipped with machine guns, intentionally guiding the trucks along a specific path. Clutch comments that either he's the best driver in the world or the shooter is terrible. Duke realizes that Rock and Roll isn't trying to hit them. He's directing them toward a specific destination. Stalker, armed with a sniper rifle, skillfully blows out all the tires. His precision is evident. The truck crashes into a tree, and as Clutch head hits the steering wheel, he amusingly recalls the name of the girl from last night, Sherry. Duke jokingly remarks, "Now you remember her name." Stalker explains, "My partner and I needed to get you away from the civilians where no one would see us take you in." Duke, in pain and defiance, questions, "Then what makes you think you're taking me in?" Stalker firmly asserts, "Duke, you're hurt. There's no point in getting more hurt. Stand down. That's an order." Duke charges towards Stalker, declaring, "I don't take orders anymore." However, Stalker effortlessly sidesteps Duke's punch and calmly mentions, "Let me show you a move an old friend taught me." Stalker delivers a powerful roundhouse kick connecting with Duke's head, causing a crack. Despite the impact, Duke defiantly spits out blood and begins to rise again. Stalker expresses disappointment, stating, "I had high hopes for you, kid," before delivering a boot to Duke's head, rendering him unconscious. A helicopter lands and Duke's face is covered, obscuring his destination. Colonel Hawk, aware that Duke has been captured, observes the scene as Duke is led away in handcuffs. Duke questions their destination, but Rock and Roll forcibly throws both Duke and Clutch, who are handcuffed, into the elevator. Duke expresses his surprise, stating that he thought the pit was decommissioned in the 80s. Stalker clarifies that it was indeed decommissioned, but now it serves as a safe house for high-risk prisoners before transportation. Rock and Roll welcomes Duke and Clutch to their new home, an abandoned G.I. Joe base at the bottom of the pit. Clutch questions why he's in the cell with Duke, and the response is that they are accused of aiding and abetting a known fugitive. Duke recognizes the soldiers as Craig Rock and Roll McConnell and Lonzo Stalker Wilkinson, but Rock and Roll also seems to know Duke. Stalker insists that this is for the best, urging Duke to trust the system. Duke skeptically retorts that the system didn't trust him, questioning why he should believe anything from them. A woman's voice chimes in, expressing fascination and mentioning common goals. Both Duke and the mysterious woman seem to share a desire for freedom. The Baroness, captured and behind bars, suggests that perhaps they can come to an arrangement. She expresses desire to escape and proposes a potential collaboration with Duke. Next issue in the Energon series from Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comics. Duke, Volume 1, Issue 3.